Now we're ready to create our basic battle loop. In order to do this, let's open back up our battle window class. Here we're going to create a new private method with a return type of IEnumerator, and we're going to call it next action. Inside of this method, we're going to have a yield return, and we're going to create a new wait for seconds and pass in 2. Next, we're going to display the actions group by setting its active state to true. Now at the end of the start battle method, let's go ahead and start a new coroutine and call our next action. What we're going to do is set up a loop that when the battle starts, we use a delay to call the next action. The next action will display the action the player can use, and when the player clicks a button, the action will go away, the action will be executed, and then a new action will be presented to the player again. In order for this to work, we're going to need to create a new public method that our buttons can actually call. To do this, we're going to create a public method with a return type of void called onAction, and we'll pass in an int as an ID. Now inside of this method, we're going to start by displaying a message. We'll simply say action plus ID plus space selected. This way we'll be able to see a message that displays the type of action that was executed. Next, we're going to hide the action group. So let's call the actions group.setActive method and pass in false. And finally, we're going to start a new coroutine. And in this new coroutine, we're going to call the next action. Now let's save this and go into Unity. Let's open up our actions game object and look at our buttons. We'll start by selecting our attack button and scroll down to the button event on click handler. Let's hit the plus sign and select a new game object as its target. In this case, we're going to filter out for the battle window in the scene. Next, we'll go to the function dropdown, select the battle window class, and look for the onAction. Now we're calling the battle window's onAction method and we're passing 0 in. Let's do the same for run. This time, when we call onAction for run, we're going to pass in the value of 1. Now before this works, we're going to need to add one last thing to our battle window. Let's go ahead and add a graphics raycaster. This will allow us to capture mouse input since this game object is nested within another window. Let's run our game and see if it works. We'll need to trigger a battle, wait for the message to go away, and now we can attack. Once we attack, you'll see the action is selected and it outputs in the message window. If we hit attack, we'll see a value of 0, and if we hit run, we'll see a value of 1. And that's it. Now we have a simple battle loop. It allows us to show the battle window, display a message, trigger an action, wait for a response, and then trigger an action again.